Hey there, this is Jen Wren, and as you can see, I am not alone today. With me in the studio is the very lovely Lindsay Fuller. Oh my goodness. Isn't she pretty? Isn't she? Okay.
The barbershop boys downstairs braided my hair this morning because they woke me up on a Sunday, and that's not
That's
normal.
just rude. I mean, come on, Sunday should be sleeping in. Anyway, so I dragged Lindsay over here because I wanted to give an update about what I've been up to. Some people on Twitter are kind of keeping up with me and seeing that I've been in the studio a bunch and like, what are you working on? So there's a couple things coming up. And I want to talk about those. First off, though, I wanted to ask Lindsay, did you get a chance to listen to the Ralph Report on Patreon last week? Are you up to date yet?
I stopped on Friday's episode when I got to Mike Serber's song "The Garman," and I had to stop.
That's what I was going to ask.
Headphones.
The biggest thing to happen last week is that they hit it's two things, which is crazy. I don't know how these two coincided, but there's 3-year anniversary and then also 700 episodes, which is like incredible to think that he's put out. And those are over an hour.
Power numbers too, in like an astrology, numerology.
Those are two of my favorite numbers. So I was all in too. I don't know about astrology. You're my hookup on that. But that's so cool that all those things coincided. And then for those of you who don't know, Mike Serber, who is on Patreon as well, actually.
He's a lyrical genius.
He's a lyrical genius, and it was moving and touching and like teary, and it just like encapsulated everything that went on. So it was just like, aw.
Like our ode to 2020 send-off in a way. It was sort of like we all became closer friends than we would have been if this didn't happen. And to hear Mike put that to lyric and music and like production was just like, I had to stop, go listen, and then like I haven't even finished the episode yet. So
oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I won't spoil anything else for you, but anyways, it was a really cool week. And for those of you who've listened to some other tracks that I've delivered to Ralph in hopes that he would play them, Santa Ralph, you joined me for that project, and you were so amazing. And I had no idea that you were a professional voice artist. So you've been doing this for a while as a professional.
Yeah, for about 5 years in the marketing space. Anytime I get a chance to play production, I would just kind of, hey, I'll take that job nobody wants to do. And it often, they found that I was kind of accent neutral because I was like born in Iowa. It's very Midwestern. Down here, it's very regional, very Southern accents. Like,
give us a little taste. What's that sound like?
What kind of accent do you want? Do you want like a hot, like I shouldn't name places or, these are neighborhoods in Little Rock, but there's like old moneyed Southern talk.
Ooh.
Like country talk, like these are different things. And like,
that is two ends of the spectrum there. I mean, one is dripping with money. The other one is dripping with moonshine.
All of that around, and then there's the diverse voices and sounds all around, but I have kind of a clean impartial you
do have a neutral voice. I would have never guessed that you had lived both places. I would have assumed that you're from Los Angeles or somewhere around here, although you don't have the Valley Girl typical accent that I hear. I grew up in Orange County, south of Los Angeles, and so there's a little Valley Girl that will pop out every now and then that is not pretty.
Can't wait to hear what that sounds like.
Oh God, no, you don't need to hear that. No one does. But so you've done all this voiceover work, and I had you do Santa Ralph. So then when I came to thinking about Valentine's Day, I thought, wow, there's so many really fun girls that I've met, and guys, of course, too. You're all good too. But I've met so many fun people on the Ralph Report. And so I thought it would be great to kind of feel the love for Valentine's, create a little fun, sexy song.
For us singles out there in the garden.
For the singles looking to mingle, a little something, but there's a married person. Like, it's okay. It's not like you're cheating on me. You're just singing in my song.
Singing in the song.
You're not stepping out. You don't have to get a divorce. You're okay.
Yeah, she's just reading. She ain't cheating. That's how I like. If you're in a good book and you like say Jamie Fraser's name at night, like things happen.
Elmore?
That's an Outlander reference for the Outlander people.
Okay, just a quick story about that. So I worked on Outlander for the first season, and those of you who don't know this, I worked as a music editor before I was a teacher, and I kind of left the business about 3-4 years ago because I was ready to move on. And so what was funny is that if you've watched Outlander, lots of nudity, right? Okay, so imagine being in a room working on this, and we're doing the mix, and so I work, in sound and music. It's not a big surprise, right? So we're all sitting there on the dub stage, and we're mixing and stuff, and you watch the same sex scenes over and over like 200 times, and it's just funny because you take a look around, you're like, I'm watching naked people with like a group.
Our joke is everything is produced, honey.
And yeah, and like this is my job, and I'm laughing. But it was actually cool because Outlander is helmed by so many women. So it felt really nice. Not that it would have been creepy with the guys, because let me tell you, I was in post-production and TV and film for a very long time. And I've never had any weird encounters. Everyone's been like super cool and very, very professional. But yeah, it was just, it's weird because you're like, this is my job.
Yeah, I always sometimes look around and go, wow, this is my job today. Like,
this is what you're recording to. Yeah. What product are you going to be talking about today?
Or sometimes you're, like you never know where the hustle takes you.
The hustle. I like that. So yeah, so I enlisted you for this new project. Sorry, I just hit it with my next clue. I was going to show the peeps at home another clue of like what I've been up to.
Jazz
flute? Jazz flute?
Oh my God.
I got all Ron Burgundy, and I just thought I wanted to put like something sexy in there, and I can't play saxophone, so that wasn't an option. And I learned flute in elementary school, so I thought, hey, why not?
I played the clarinet if somebody
Did you really?
That skill set somewhere.
Okay. And I was like, I think I was trying to be cool by saying I only played it in elementary school, but truth be known, I was in the marching band in junior high.
Now it comes out.
Yeah.
It's too.
I was not bullied at all. Twice.
Neither was I.
So yeah, I looked hot in that starchy polyester itchy that so many people have worn before you that it's just disgusting. It's kind of like a bowling shoe. It feels like you're wearing a bowling shoe. So anyway, so I was able to play live flute on it. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then calling on my friends in the Garmy made it super fun. So I was able to contact 2 Jodies, which I think this is funny, the dueling Jodies. And it actually was a mistake. I don't know if I told you this story yet, but I had talked to the Garmy members. I'm like, hey, is anyone interested in participating in this, song? Because it'll be a lot of fun and whatnot. And I had a Jody say, hey, like wrote me and said, hey, it's super interested. And I'm like, great, I'll contact you. And I kind of put that aside. And I had all this other stuff I was recording for other projects. And then I came back to it and I'm like, what is Jody's contact? So I looked it up, and it took me a little while to track down Jody. And then I'm like, oh, hey, Jody, here's this project. And she's like, oh, and she seemed a little bit unknowledgeable, but I thought, it's been a little bit of time. So maybe she's forgotten what it's about. So I think you know where this is going. So she does the part that she does in the song. And I'm like, great, thank you so much. And then I'm checking my messages in an account that I don't usually go to. And I'm like, there's a message from Jody with an I. And I'm like, oh, God. I wrote the wrong Jody. So now I got 2 Jodies.
That's a very Steve Ashton calling me Jen moment.
I know. Hey, and I just thought, that maybe we are all Jen.
Maybe we are all Jen.
It's possible. If I'm Jen, we are all, no.
Shades of Jen.
There's like 3.
My new fragrance.
3 shades of Jen. So anyways, yeah, it was kind of a mix up. And then she ended up, both of them still wanted to be in it. So I kept trying to beg with them. I'm like, does one of you go by another name, nickname, anything? They're both like, no.
Jody.
They're like, please, can you have a nickname now? And both of them were like, no, I'm good with Jody. So we've got 2 Jodies. We got 2 Jodies and a Lindsay in there. And hopefully Cassie too, because we've been trying to get in touch with each other. We've had some, because we're in different time zones. So these people are all over the world. So you're
like
trying to.
hours ahead of me. I always think in terms of time zones. So I'm like, my Ralph crew is like 2 hours behind
True.
usually. And then
Yep.
my UK crew is 6 hours ahead. So it's kind of great. You always have someone to talk to. If you have insomnia, you're like, I'll just hit up Cassie.
That's exactly what happens. There's so many times I wake up at 2 a.m. and I go on there and everyone's up on the East Coast and in London. And that just, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not alone. And that keeps me busy. So yeah, something for everyone. Those of you who never sleep. Uh, so, sorry.
That's what we've been up to, guys.
So that's pretty much what we've been up to. I do want to just, before we wrap up, mention a couple things. I started a Bandcamp page to start putting some of my music for people who want to support me. I always want to provide it like free too, to the Garmin members on Patreon and stuff. And I've always enjoyed doing that. And then for the people who just want to support me, like have a place for them to go and buy it if they want to keep me in my flute buying. I don't know. I buy a lot of like instruments. It's actually gotten a little bit out of control this season, but anyways, yeah, well, because I have a big project coming up for St. Patty's Day, and it required some amazing instruments that I had to go far and wide to get. And
does it have anything to do with lanterns?
No, but we got to bring patio lanterns back. This one is kind of a big production. It's probably the biggest one I've done from a musical standpoint so far. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of programming I had to do software wise, and it was a lot of fun, and it was kind of like it pushed me to my limit. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the Valentine's Day that's going to be coming out. But just take a look at Bandcamp, Jen Wren Stewart. If you want to see some of that stuff, get posted up there, and I'll try to post stuff here too on YouTube, maybe some videos and stuff like that to help bring them to life and make them, yeah. I don't know, put a little sparkle on them. So yeah, that's what's basically going on with me and what I'm working on. And oh, that's right, I was gonna say, and if you're looking for the French version, I don't have the French version of Hello Death yet on this YouTube site. I put it up on Bandcamp for now. So ça fait quoi?
So good.
And oh, thank you. And Lindsay, by the way, speaks French. As if Lindsay couldn't be more sexy. It's like it's like everything she does is like goddess level.
No.
It is. It's so true.
A dumpster fire wrapped in an enigma covered in what the fuck sauce, kind of like Eddie.
It's comments like those that just make you more sexy. So just shut up.
As Nico said, bitch, you're 9 on your period. You're probably gonna have to cut that out because I used the bad word. But Nico is adorable, and I remembered that. So.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's talk about you before we go, because you have some social media that you want people to go check you out on.
I am just over here trying to support the local restaurants in my kind of neighborhood and the people that work at them, and that's kind of turned me into a little baby accidental food influencer. So I'm over at Lindsay from Arkansas on the Insta. It's mostly just food pics and art from my neighborhood, and just ways that we can all help each other get through this weird time until things are normalized. So,
well, that's awesome. I love checking it out. I do check it all the time because there is some scrumptious looking food, but it also gives me a glimpse to like normalcy, what it used to be like when you go out to a pub or gastropub and you check out all their food and microbrews and whatnot.
A lot of regions in the country where restaurants can't operate right now, and ours are doing so in the most careful of ways, and so far it's kind of working. So we're just gonna fingers crossed, wearing our masks and keeping our distance and washing our hands and sanitizing our tables, and just try to get through it.
Try to get through it as best we can so that we can come back really strong.
Exactly. So, and then we're gonna wow out so hard.
It's going to be a little crazy. We were talking about that the other day. We're about like, it's just going to be bacchanalian and like.
That's the right word for what's about to happen.
It's Roaring 20s had nothing on what's going to happen here. It's going to be crazy. So anyways, Lindsay, as always, A
Thank
pleasure to talk with you.
you.
Thank you for spending a little time with me in the studio, hopefully in person someday soon.
Once we all get our vaccines,
That's right. And we'll be flying around like crazy people.
Sure will.
And thank you everyone on this page and every one of my other socials that follows me either on Twitter, Jen Wren Stewart, or Bandcamp, or YouTube, wherever you are. Thank you for being so supportive. You fuel my fire. I just feel like I got to make some more stuff for you guys because you're all so cool. So anyways, thank you all and stay safe out there and we'll see you soon.